believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials.
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
Like if it's searching for something.
Look! It's blue for me!
It is a plane.
No, it's not.
What?
There's no fog in the sky.
Okay, I can't ask when you think this occurred.
What is it? Mom, it's up there again. Wow.
If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
Incredible video trending social media of what looks like an extraterrestrial short gray. Now we also have a picture of this fella at the bottom of the video, as you guys could see. Apparently this home security camera in what they're titling on social media Skinwalker Ranch happens to be this baby little alien that's like 3 to 4 feet. And you know, many people have claimed to have seen these grays, and sometimes they're tall, sometimes they're not. But you know, if you look at the pyramids and you know, all the indigenous people back in the days, they used to draw these grays on the walls.
About 300 years ahead of us meaning civilians of the world, them meaning the governments and militaries. Their technology is 300 years ahead of us.
Is that a plane or what is that? We're on the North Shore. We're trying to figure out what that is.
From August 6th to August 9th of 1945, that's the day everything changed on our planet. That's when these aliens came. The dates I just mentioned is connected with USA and Japan with the nuclear weapons. Did you know that we was warned not to use these weapons? Before this war started, a group of aliens named the Pleiadians actually came to the United States and warned them never to use nuclear weapons because it would destroy everything in the universe. But the US did not listen to nothing these Pleiadians had to tell them. So after they used this weapon, guess what happened? Another group of aliens came to this planet right after the nuclear weapons was used, but these aliens was way more demonic. So that was the message that the Pleiadians was trying to tell people. If you use these weapons, it's so negative, it's going to draw in more negative life forms. And look what happened. Once these great aliens came here, they wanted our natural resources. And once we gave them our natural resources, which is us, because we are natural resources, these great aliens gave people fake technology. They only gave them technology that's going to hurt us, not help us. So when you hear about Area 51, UFOs crashing, this is not made up. These are real stories. Once you start doing your research on these topics, you will be mind blown once you realize that we was actually sold for technology. This is all connected to the Majestic 12. I believe Eisenhower was the president around that time. Eisenhower's granddaughter actually came out and was releasing secrets about what was really taking place with the UFOs. Okay, now let's get into the message or the warning they was trying to tell us before they used this weapon. What is destroying the universe? I know it's a lot of people that think space is fake. Space is not fake. The definition NASA gave us is fake. The universe worked like a radio station. So when the aliens came here to tell us that we're going to destroy everything in the universe, it's because every reality exists in the same space. You ever just been sitting in your house and it feel like someone walked in the room? You can feel some kind of energy, but you look around and you don't see no one. Someone is really there. It's another reality existing with our reality. We just can't see it. The universe works just like a radio station. All you have to do is change the channel and you can pick up another reality or a different frequency. So that was the warning. If you use these nuclear weapons, you will destroy other realities because it all exists at one time. You just gotta learn how to turn the channel. You can go up or down. That's what people mean when they say raise your frequency, raise your vibration. Raising your frequency is just turning the channel to the radio station. Go higher or lower, your choice.
Y'all feel about all these aliens and UFO sightings? Y'all think it's more out there, or are we alone? And if it's more out there, what's taking them so long to reveal themselves? Or have they?
So who remember the Green Goblin levitating surfboard? And what y'all watching right here behind me, this is not a scene from the Spider-Man movie. They actually created a levitating
Y'all get one of those? I'll ride one any day.
surfboard. And this just goes to show you how advanced our technology has become. And everybody remember when we used to talk about the future, how we was gonna have jetpacks, flying cars, and robots? Yeah. Welcome to the future, baby. Because everything I just listed, including flying hoverboard, this is now an actual reality. And all I have to say is, where can I buy this? Sign me up. You want debit or credit? Because pulling up like the Green Goblin to any event, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, gang, I gotta see that through. And I'm buying a costume to go with it. But now this just goes to show y'all though how advanced our technology is advancing. The things that we say are gonna happen in the future is happening today.
Look like all you need is some butter, and you got you some Texas Roadhouse rolls. Oh, the tree got a boo-boo. Somebody get a band-aid. Let's patch him up, guys.
Today I'm about to teach you horrors about a tree that actually bleeds when you cut it. No good, dog.
Whoa, not us calling us the W word. That's crazy. We ain't selling it.
Right here is called a blood tree. If you take the trunk and cut that sap sucker, you'll literally see sap sucker. All right, that wasn't funny, but my point is that these trees actually bleed red sap that resemble the consistency of actual human blood. Basically, this tree probably don't even fuck with no Crips. I would say the most interesting part is that this tree actually doesn't even bleed red sap until it's injured. And us humans use the red sap to treat our injuries such as diarrhea, you got a bubble guts, use it, ulcers, and it can be used to treat fever. So this is a tree that bleeds when it's injured, but helps us when we're injured as well. We want it to bleed. Die, tree. I'm just playing.
What y'all doing if y'all see a tree leaking like that? I'll probably start tripping, but leave a comment below.
These masks look so realistic, they would confuse anyone. They're made by a small Japanese company that started collecting faces back in 2020.
It's unbelievable, but so many people from around the world are asking me to buy their face. The number of people that want to buy these masks was more than expected too. I think the world is crazy and
I don't know, that's a wild idea, cause them masks look pretty real. Like, you can disguise yourself as anybody and go commit any kind of crime.
fun.
The shop owner Shuhei Okawara uses a special technique to print these masks. The 3D scan output of the face model is manually modified and pasted onto a high-resolution photograph, which then goes on a plastic mask. The price is pretty high though. The less individual one goes for 98,000 yen. Plus it doesn't protect you from COVID, so you still have to put on a regular one in case of lockdown.
This is not making a movie, but real. He wears a silicone mask. This mask is made of silicone. Thickness is about 3 to 4 millimeters. Can rely on natural adsorption. Fit on the face. Very convenient to use. It is said that this mask can be made to look like anyone, if it is possible. Who do you want to be?
I remember when we had all those old Halloween masks from the dollar store and Party City. Now they done up the technology. Kids about to start pulling up looking like the real live Iron Man.
From the beginning of the video, it seems obvious that this boy has seen something strange in a nearby window.
He's coming out. I gotta kind of hide. See that?
He points the camera towards the second story of the house, where we can see a ghostly face peering out from behind a pulled curtain.
If you guys can see that.
I don't know, I'm calling Cat. What y'all think? Leave a comment.
The uploader suggests that he believes it to be the ghost of a young child that is
or just his younger brother
watching him from the window.
It's a little kid. He's watching me.
Clearly frightened, he hurriedly walks away. However, when he glances back and sees that the door to the house is opening, he begins running in terror.
He's opening the door. He's opening the door.
You see how that quote says a God we trust and we're facing towards it? 1976. And then this one says, "In God we trust," behind his head, facing away. And same with this brand new 2023 quarter. Again, we're facing away from God. And we used to face towards him. It's getting really weird out there, guys.
I don't know, it's something about dolls that always freak me out, especially at nighttime. People getting real creative with these dolls, man. I wonder what the next thing would be, but you know, AI out now, so they can make anything look real.
The word man comes from the word mens, which is Latin for mind, because human is light, hue, which is color, is the light mind. We are light manifested into physical form. We are mind manifested in physical form. So essentially the mind is what controls all things and creates every reality. This is why we say government. So men or man means mind. They govern, control the ment, the mind. Because the mind manifests everything you see physically. For example, the phone you are holding, the book I've created, was an idea, which is the idea, in my mind before I manifested it physically. So the I equals the I, the all-seeing eye of Freemasonry or consciousness. Inside of you, this is the I am. This is inside, always the I. Intelligence. Because inside of you is your invisible intelligence, because inside of you is the eye, the all-seeing eye of the mind, or the third eye, whatever you want to call it. And this is what they're controlling. They're controlling the mind, because the mind creates reality. We are all expressions of the one consciousness, which is the all-seeing eye in the pyramid, because all of us possess the same consciousness. Even though we're in different bodies, we all come from the one mind consciousness.
I don't know. Oh, good trick. Good trick.
Priests would remove all of your internal organs if you died in ancient Egypt. Now, they would leave your heart, since they believed it was essential for the afterlife, but they'd store the other organs in jars. Then your body would be covered in salt for 40 days, which sucked out all of the moisture and prevented you from decaying. Afterwards, your body would be wrapped in layers of linen and sealed in resin, making you a mummy. A soldier's leg would be pierced with sharpened bamboo sticks if they stepped on.
Man, I hate to be at war during that time. They was coming up with all kind of booby traps.
This hidden pit during the Vietnam War. Another common trap was a grenade hidden in a can. It would be connected to a tripwire placed near the ground. And once the soldier accidentally walked into it, the wire would pull the pin on the grenade attached to one of the ends. A similar trap had a spear attached to the end of a tripwire, designed to pierce through the chest once activated.
These are the world's most deadliest traps that was used in the Vietnam War, and the last one is the most painful one. First, these spikes were put on two boards and placed like this. Then it was covered, and whenever a soldier stepped on this, all the...
Can you imagine just walking in the woods, minding your business, and next thing you know, you got spears and spikes all through your leg and body?
Spikes straightly went in next. Two grenade safety pins were removed, placed in an empty can, and then connected with a thin rope. When soldiers walked onto this trap, the whole group was blown up. Next, the most painful one, punji stakes, which have these long spikes that were placed in a box and buried in a land like this, and was covered with soil. Whenever soldiers walked over these traps, the spikes pierced through their legs, and even some other parts of their bodies, if you know what I mean.
Ryan Garcia was just arrested for felony vandalism. This is another clear humiliation that this dude is going through, because this man is part of the club. If you know, you know. He pretends to be a champion for everything against the system, but this man is part of the false light. And this is another...
I don't know. I think he's just trying to keep himself relevant. Like with all boxers, like with Mayweather and all them, Broner, talking trash just to stay relevant.
Everything being done to garner more sympathy for someone. Just like Trump, for instance. All of this stuff is by design. Because somebody that's legitimate wouldn't have something like this tattooed on their hand. So, wake up. This is yet another humiliation ritual being done to Ryan Garcia. Who knows what's next?
You hear the term New Earth. What's happening is, like a cell, the Earth is splitting off into two. So you have the 3D Earth, which is what we're living in, we've been living in. And then you have a new Earth, which is going into higher consciousness. They call it the 5D. So they're splitting off right now. And like with cells, any toxic waste or anything that's not serving the body is going to be detached and it's going to be discarded. So this is what's going on right now. So much negativity, so many low vibrations, and just a lot of toxic behavior going on this plane.
Not on camera. This amazing footage shows the pollen releasing from a tree as it falls, creating a huge yellow plume of smoke.
Claire, I got sneeze.
If you're in the woods and you see this tree, you need to run away as fast as you can. So this thing is called the Hyperion tree, and it's in your best interest to stay away from it. It is completely illegal to go near this tree, and if you're caught doing so, you might face 6 months of jail time, including a $5,000 fine. Basically, the Hyperion tree is a redwood tree in California, and only a few people are allowed to know its actual location. And the reason for this is because the Hyperion tree happens to be the tallest tree in the entire world. It stands at a whopping 400 feet tall. For scale, that's 100 feet taller than the Statue of Liberty. Not to mention, the tree is almost 800 years old. So, because of its status and the delicate environment surrounding the tree, it is forbidden to go near it. But regardless of these laws, people still set out to go try and find the tree. Sometimes these people get caught, but funny enough, most of the time, these groups can't even find the tree. This shows that the location of the Hyperion tree is a well-kept secret, and that is for good reason.
Morbid Facts, Part 272. Actor Lane Garrison from Prison Break was the cause of a deadly car crash when he was 26 years old. He picked up two 15-year-olds and a 17-year-old and decided to go to a high school party with them. After providing the girls with alcohol and doing coke, he crashed his car, which fatally killed the 17-year-old.
Now, he had no business being with those teenagers. And second of all, you up here doing alcohol and doing coke? What?
Garrison only served 1.5 years of his 3-year prison sentence before returning to Hollywood. The light penguin on the right is an elderly female, while the darker one is a young male. After they both lost their partners within the last 2 years, biologists have followed them, as they meet together every night to comfort each other and watch the lights for hours.
Let me find out that they each other rebounds.
A 95-year-old Chinese village woman named Li Zufeng was declared dead when her neighbor found her motionless and no longer breathing. But on the day before her funeral, 6 days later, Li's neighbors were stunned to find her empty coffin. The villagers went on a desperate search to find the body, only to discover the woman casually cooking up a meal in her kitchen.
Hey, whatever she was on, she had to take a nap, and she woke up hungry.
For saying that we look good and that I look good, because there's a rumor out there that I had a stroke, man. Man. That's totally not true. So I just want to clear that up. But I thank everybody for the concern and the love, and just thank you. But Marty's all good.
Marty's all right.
You heard it.
There's also a rumor, and I wasn't gonna bring it up, that you're a clone. That was the one that I heard. That one too.
Well, that's AI.
Yeah.
So you're feeling good, Martin? You're feeling good. You're looking good.
Thank you.
Nothing wrong with you.
No.
All right, so we can shut that down right now.
Look, I didn't have a stroke. They didn't say nothing about the seizures and partial paralysis. But no stroke. But no, for real. He's just getting older, man. We expecting people not to change as they get older. Like, he probably about 60 years old or something like that now.
Are you guys aware that PetSmart throws away live animals in the trash can? And I don't know how true this is, you guys, but they have a couple of videos of them throwing pets away in trash cans, and they will go find them. Y'all, look at this. And now I've read the comments, and people are saying this is absolutely true, and they went to further on and elaborate on the situation. But if this is the case, what would cause PetSmart to do this to animals? Because, you know, they're all about pets. I know when it comes to food, right? If the food is in abundance and they don't want to take it for the next day, you know, they're gonna throw it away in the trash. But pets, these are living beings, living.
They probably throwing away the runts of the litters. That's what it seemed like. But still, at the same time, it's kind of rude.
Spirits, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is this about? I always said, if this is a business, and I never want to be part of it. And this literally, it's a business of selling pets. Like, you might as well be selling people at that point in time, honestly. And at one point in time, they did. You know what I'm saying? But this is cruelty. Where is Peter when you need it? You know what I'm saying? But this is diabolical on all levels, y'all.
New layers to access. Some ideas for uses are pretty simple, like shopping for a new mattress and being able to test the firmness in real time. Or as you press down on maps, you can transition from street view to traffic, or even feel the terrain. Maybe as you run your finger down the street, the stores that are open are stiff, or you program it so they're the ones that have the coffee you like. Now, this is just a prototype and has a long way to go before it hit the market, but it could change the way we interact with our devices. It's just so creative, and I love that.
If you don't question the narrative after this video, you just might not be someone that's gonna ever do that. Do you know what city you're looking at here? What about now? Ancient Rome? Greece? Definitely somewhere in Europe, right? Well, what if I told you it was Chicago in 1893, and that all of these structures were Chicago at the World's Fair in 1893? And supposedly, all of this was designed just as a temporary city to be demolished at the end of the fair. They called it the White City, and everything was just painted white, and it wasn't made of stone, but just a mixture of plaster and cement, so it was real easy to take down at the end of the fair. But you see, here's where the narrative starts to crumble. The Museum of Science and Industry, which was supposedly created during the World's Fair, is right there, and this is a picture from that time period. And this building, supposedly which was created for the World's Fair as a temporary structure, still stands in Chicago to this day. And with a quick Google search, you can see that the Museum of Science and Industry is made of limestone. And when you look at the buildings that used to be here, that were supposedly facades and made of plaster, you quickly see they're the same material. And then you drive down the street just a little bit to find Soldier Field with the exact type of columns and limestone structure. And then you research when Soldier Field was first constructed, and it says 1922. And all.
Well, we don't know if it's the same material because you can't tell by the picture. But
the construction photos, all of them, all show the columns already standing. Literally all of them. It's funny, there are no pictures of construction without the columns. Even the earliest one I found, with no stadium at all, still had the columns. Could it be that these columns and these types of structures found all over the world and all over the United States, like in New Hampshire here, and Philadelphia, and Washington, and San Francisco, and Madison, Wisconsin, and again, back to Chicago, could all be coming from a time period where we actually had very advanced technology that they don't want us to know about. Because if we did, we would know that we're not just always evolving and getting smarter, and that we don't know better than our ancient ancestors, who all thought the Earth was an enclosed system with a dome over it. And that if we knew that technology existed to move rocks with sound or to use lasers to cut images in stone, then we might realize technology's always been here. Because technology doesn't come from the brains of men, it comes from the will of God.